am convinced that one of my foster carers had cameras in the house and would film me every day, including in the bathroom. Just listen to this and tell me if I'm right or being paranoid, because I'm convinced I'm right. So for those that watch my videos, this is Baby Stealer, the baby stealing foster carer. If you haven't seen those videos, go to my foster care playlist. You're going to want to see it. This was while I was pregnant. So this was before she stole my baby. She, in many ways, was one of the best foster carers I ever had. She was the one foster carer that genuinely seemed to care about me. She helped me get back into education. She helped me and my mum build on a relationship again. In many ways, she was great. But the camera thing, it all started when I went in her bedroom. Every other foster carer I'd ever lived with had always locked their bedroom doors. My foster carer trusted me and never locked her door. I had been living with her for 5 months and I never went in her bedroom. Until one day I did. The reason I went into her room is because she had a floor-length mirror. I was going out for the day and I wanted to see what my outfit looked like. So I snuck into her room while she was out, looked at myself in the mirror and then just left the room. I didn't touch a single thing. I didn't open no drawers, no wardrobe. I didn't touch a thing. 2 days later, she knocks on my bedroom door and asks if she can come in. So I said yes. She came in, she sat on the end of my bed and said very calmly, "I know you were in my room the other day." And obviously in my head, I'm like, how does she know? I didn't try to deny it because I wanted her to know that I meant no harm and that she could trust me. So I just explained why I went in her room. She said, "That's fine, just don't do it again." I was like, okay, fair enough. This is what happens the following month. And this to me is concrete proof that she had cameras. So the bedroom I had at her house was the biggest bedroom I'd ever had. Compared to my other placements, it was huge. And it had a lot of furniture in it. Honestly, this bedroom had like 3 wardrobes, loads of chest of drawers, loads of cupboards. So one day I decided to be nosy and go through them. So I'm going through these wardrobes, I'm going through these chest of drawers, and in one of the chest of drawers there's a Tupperware box. In the Tupperware box are loads of coins. These coins were euros, but I'd never been abroad before, so I'd never seen what a euro looked like, so I was fascinated. I was just looking at them, and then I put them back in the Tupperware box, and then I put them back in the cupboard exactly how I found them. I then go downstairs. Sandra is in the kitchen and I join her in the kitchen. We are in the kitchen together for about 2 hours, just chatting and eating dinner. Sandra then goes in the living room for an hour. She then comes back into the kitchen and she says, "Why were you touching those coins? Those don't belong to you." How did you know? How did she know? No, seriously, how would she know? She didn't go upstairs. She didn't go upstairs once. She was watching the camera. She definitely had cameras. She definitely had cameras. And that evening, and every evening after, every time I would go into my bedroom, I would be doing that in all the corners of the room. I'd be doing it at the ceiling because I knew she was watching. Do you know how else I know she had cameras? Oh, wait. First of all, she was always paranoid that I was filming her. I had a BlackBerry. Do you remember BlackBerries? I'm the type of person with any phone I have, I will just place it on the table whichever way up. Sometimes when I put it down, it's face down. Sometimes it's face up. I don't have no notifications come through on my phone, so it doesn't matter what way I place it. Whenever I would place my phone face down, she would ask me why. She'd say, "What are you hiding? Are you recording my voice?" And she'd turn it into a joke. Here's the real thing though. This is how I know she was filming me. For this one, I have to put up part 2 because what I'm about to tell you is insane. And I didn't even find it out until after I left care. This is how I know without a doubt that she had cameras, and she had cameras in the bathroom. If you've watched my videos before, you'll know I had a psychologist in care and he ended up being a pervert. But before he was a pervert, he was a good guy. Well, not a good guy because he was always a pervert, but do you know what I mean? He was good to me. I started to get my morning sickness when I was 7 months pregnant. So the whole 7 months of my pregnancy, I didn't get no morning sickness. I got loads of other symptoms, but not morning sickness. I was going to college at the time. So what would happen is I would wake up, I would throw up, have breakfast, and then go to college every day. There was one morning where I could not be sick, but I needed to be. You know when your head is just in the toilet for like an hour and you feel so nauseous, but it's not coming up. But you know if you're sick, you'll feel 10 times better. I was trying to be sick for over half an hour and I was running late for college as it was. So I made myself be sick. Don't judge me, I was gonna be sick anyway, I was just speeding up the process. And as soon as I threw up, I immediately felt better and I went to college. And after that, I never had the same issue again. 2 years ago, when I read through my foster care records, I found emails. There were actual email trails in my foster care records between my foster carer, the social worker, and the psychologist. The foster carer, this was how she was planning to steal my baby. She emailed the psychologist, copied the social worker in, and said, "I think Lauren's bulimic." Because I saw her throw up. How did you see me throw up? How? Cameras. that bathroom door was shut. She said in this email that she actually saw me lean over and put my fingers down my throat, which is exactly what happened. But the door was closed. The bathroom door was closed. There's no way that she was like on the stairs on the landing and saw it. The psychologist replied straight away and went, "Is this the only time you've ever seen her do that?" The foster carer didn't mention to either of them about my morning sickness, because I barely saw my social worker when I was in this placement. So my social worker, as far as I can remember, didn't know I was having morning sickness at this point. And the foster carer did say, yes, this is the first time she's ever done this, but you know, it could happen again. My psychologist had my back, and like, I'm paraphrasing, but he basically said, I don't think she's bulimic. She's never showed any signs of having an eating disorder. Like, I think she's okay. It was probably a one-off. I didn't know this conversation ever took place until I read my records 2 years ago. I had no idea that them talking about me potentially being bulimic was a thing. Do you know what's funny? One of them could have just asked me. One of them could have just said, "We heard you made yourself be sick. Why was that?" And I could have told them. I could have told them I was running late for college. I was going to be sick anyway, so I just made myself be sick. The more I talk about the baby stealer, the more I'm convinced she was doing things to lead up to her being able to steal my baby and keep it as her own. Every foster child she ever had, she wanted to adopt their babies. She is not a foster carer anymore. Thank God.